On the show today, the timeline for the return to rehab for Yamamoto. When is he coming back? There's been a lot of talk about Yamamoto, and we got the official timeline. I'm going to break that down for you. Also, what is the real reason J.A. is now not up with the Dodgers? Why did he get sent down? The real reason may surprise you. I'm going to bring that up too as well. And the return of Blake Treinen back in the Dodger uniform to pitch again, and we could use him more sooner than later. All right. Let's get into it right off the bat. What's going on? Dodgers establish a timeline for Yamamoto's rehab. That's very important, okay? And here's the deal, man. I've heard a lot of people yapping saying that he wasn't that good. He wasn't that good in the beginning anyways, and just by him coming back, it's not going to solve the problems that the Dodgers are having pitching-wise. And I can't disagree with you anymore on that statement about what Yamamoto is all about. In fact, I can break it down and show you why Yamamoto needs to be on the Dodgers sooner than later, okay? Well, here's the reason why they're not rushing the dude back. The next step is for him to throw a 3-inning simulated game. I talked about it on the last show. He threw a 2-inning simulated game. He needs to throw a 3-inning simulated game, and after that, he will have a rehab assignment, and you can pretty much guarantee it's probably only going to be, I would think, one rehab assignment before they bring him up, depending on what he does, okay? So that's the deal there. It's one of those things where you just want to do the best for him, too, as the athlete. You want to make sure he's healthy now and also on the long term. That's what Robert said in late July. That's a priority. Well, we can go deeper than that, Dave. LA is mindful of the fact that they have Yamamoto locked down in a long term. Remember, he signed a 12 freaking year, $325 million contract. That's not a dude that you just throw back in there and say, you know what? Yeah, I gave up 6 hits. Okay, maybe 4 runs. Let's put him back in the mix. That's not something that you want to do. When you got a talented pitcher like Yamamoto, you have to bring him back proper, especially when if you got 2 years left in his contract or a year in his contract, we're talking 12 years. He's been signed to a very, very long contract. All right. Well, what did he do before he was injured? Because there's been a lot of people telling me that he was nothing before he injured. He was showing red flags back then. I don't agree. Let's take a look. The numbers don't lie. There you go right there. 6-2. That was his win-loss. Look at the ERA. 2.92. That's the ERA. That was 14 games he appeared in with a 2.92. Look at his career regular season. 2.92. See how the numbers are? That's the same, right? Because those are his numbers with the Dodgers. Regular, career, regular. Look at the numbers. They don't lie. He's under 3.0 ERA. We want him back, okay? We want him back. But where do you put him and when does he come back? Let's take a look at the Dodgers schedule. All right, look at the upper right-hand corner. That's Tampa Bay. That's where we're going against tonight for 3 games. So if I'm looking at these games, and I'm thinking he's got a 3-inning simulated game he has to do, then a rehab assignment, I'm thinking that could be anywhere 10, maybe 12 days. So if you look at where Tampa Bay is up in the upper right, where would that put him? Somewhere around the last Arizona game, early September, or in Anaheim, right? Maybe Anaheim is a place that's close to home, gets to sleep in his own bed, or do you bring him out for Cleveland and you wait a full 2 weeks? I feel like they're going to save him for the homestand, possibly bring him in against the Angels, but I feel like Yamamoto, we're going to be waiting just about 2 weeks. And that's what it was saying mid-September anyways, so he's right on point. It's going the right direction. So there is the rest of the schedule. And if you look at that schedule right there, you look at 3 in Tampa, 3 in Baltimore, not in Tampa, 3 at Dodger Stadium against Tampa, 3 at Dodger Stadium against Baltimore. Then they just travel a little bit to Arizona for a 4 game, not that far away. Come back, sleep in your own beds because you're playing Anaheim cross town, and then you embark on another homestand. So they're really the only traveling they're doing from tonight all the way till they finish off with the Cubs is 4 days in Arizona. That's it. Everything else is at Dodger Stadium or in Anaheim where the Angels play. So that looks good for the Dodgers. If you think about it, that's a lot of home games to have. And I think that could really help out where you bring Yamamoto on that deal right there. All right, I told you what's the real reason Shohei? Everyone's like, there's a lot of talk about Shohei. I thought we covered. I think Mike Nelson did a great job covering that story. I covered it as well, and we talked about Shohei. Why is he gone? I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Let's kind of go into some of the reasons here. Okay, well, he could have a role as a pinch hitter, but the position flexibility, it's not in his favor right there because there's too many guys on that team that can play numerous positions. And then you got a guy like Shohei, well, you really want to play him in right. Okay, well, who's in right now? Hello, McFly. That would be Mookie Betts. And you're definitely not pulling Mookie out of right to bring Shohei in there. You got CT3, Chris Taylor, who's not having a very good year at all. And Shohei as well as not. Of course, he had some big surprises. The walk-off 3-run home run, that was huge. But his days are numbered because he doesn't have the flexibility, right? But then you got to look at the numbers, right? He would presumably clear waivers because a team could claim him over the remainder of his $9 million salary this season. So a team would be on the hook for that. So is he a guy that you bring out as a pinch hitter? Do you pick him up knowing that you're going to pay $9 million? I mean, I think that, to me, I don't think he's worth it at that point. What, mid-30s right now? All right, well, why don't we just, instead of just like, well, is he worth it? Is he not worth it? Let's take a look at the numbers for Shohei right now. All right, here's the numbers right there. And the glaring thing that I see right there is look at that batting average. All right, that's 2 and some change and a low number on the change side. Look at his career regular season, 257. That's near 260. And if he was hitting 260, I mean, literally hitting in that 260 range, I feel that this would not be the situation. They would probably find room for him. You look at his home runs, 6 home runs. That's out of 173 at bats. I think his total home runs right now is 180 or something like that. Only 28 on the ribbies, 682 OPS. So that's it, man. I mean, you look at the numbers, you look at the fact that he's not flexible on positions. Right field, you really want to play him out there. But when you got a Gold Glover and Mookie Betts, who plays right field right now, who's not needed at shortstop, where he started the beginning of the year off, I mean, what do you do at this point? CT3 comes back. What does he offer? Positions, variety. He can go all over the place. So, and he's not having a good year. I'm not saying he's having a good year, but, you know, that's how it's going. Okay. Whew, man, can we get to some good news, Brad J? Just a little good news to maybe, you know, get into the weekend, all right? Blake Treinen returns after missing 14 games on the injured list. He had right hip discomfort. Man, I know what that's about. Before his injury, he had appeared in 34 games with the Doyers, okay? 34 games. Going 5-3, 1 save, and I like the ERA, 2.67. We can live with that. He also struck out 38 batters in 30.1 innings. That's like striking out a batter in a quarter every inning. If you could have a quarter of a batter, I don't think that's actually possible. But holding hitters to a 212 batting average. We look forward to the return of Blake Treinen back in. So that's the story. Hey, make sure you subscribe to Dodgers Digest. If you haven't done so, please do so. Just takes a second. We're going to continue putting out all the content all season long until the Dodgers win the World Series. Then we're going to double down after that, all right? Hit the subscribe button. Let's hear your comments below. What do you think the Dodgers, the pitching injuries and all that, what do you make of all this? Love to hear from you. Remember, Brad J with you at Dodger Digest. And always remember to think blue. See ya.